Hello, welcome to the 17th Annual KEYS 100. I'm Bob Becker, your race director. In 2025, race dates are May 17th and 18th, when once again we'll be running across 42 islands of the Florida Keys to Higgs Beach in Key West, where the race ends and the party begins. The weekend kicks off with packet pickup under the Tiki Hut behind the Holiday Inn in Key Largo. From 3 to 8 o'clock on Friday, it's a course especially for the 100-milers and 100-mile teams, but 50-milers and 50K runners are certainly welcome as well. One request for teams is to have one team member pick up packets for all of the team members. Now, everybody's invited to come and encouraged to come, but please, when picking up packets, teams, just have one person do it. Now, the 50-mile runners and 50K runners, again, are also welcome to pick their packets up on Friday, but the 50-milers will also have the opportunity to get their packets and bib numbers before the race on Saturday morning at St. Columba Church, which is right behind the Marathon Garden Center. It's drive-by only. It'll be open from 7:15 to 8:45. 50-kilometer runners can pick up their packets also at the race start at the Big Pine Key Chamber of Commerce, where the race itself will begin. In addition, we will have a live experts panel inside the Holiday Inn from 4 to 5:30 on Friday afternoon for anybody who'd like to attend. We will have elite runners there, very experienced people who'll be glad to answer all your questions. And we'll have a finish line celebration. We return to the big tent on Higgs Beach in Key West, and we'll have our awards program on Sunday morning under the big tent. And yes, Gary Hempsey and his band are expected to return to play live at the awards ceremony. Our traditional funky lizard awards and shells made in the Keys by Don Nelson will be awarded to more than 200 winners this year. Every year, a lot of people who think they could not possibly have won awards have indeed won awards. So if you're able to come to the award ceremony on Sunday, that's great. If not, please pick up your award before you leave the finish line when you finish the race. And for sure, check to see if you're a winner before you leave town. If we have to ship to you post-race, I'm afraid you will have to handle the cost of shipping and handling, so please do check. At Pack-Up Pickup in Key Largo, Runners Depot will again be on site if you need any supplies. There are no running stores in the Keys until you get to Key West. Chuck Kirsch of Runners Depot will also accommodate special orders for you and have them there when you arrive in Key Largo. At Packet Pickup, you'll be given a sign that says, "Caution, runners on road," that must be affixed to the back of every vehicle. Please bring a roll of blue painter's tape for that purpose. Don't forget to decorate your vehicle. There will be a Best Decorated Vehicle award this year again, and each member of the team will receive his or her own award. Fundraising. Many of you know that if you raise sufficient funds for the race charity, the Cancer Foundation of the Florida Keys, that you can have your entire entry fee refunded. The Cancer Foundation does incredible work in the Keys. It's been our race charity of choice since year 2 of this race, and we urge you to donate or to go to the Runners Only fundraising page on the website, set up your fundraising, raise some money, and get your entry fee refunded. KEYS 100 this year will include 400 individual runners and 125 teams. With each person and each team having their own support crew or vehicle, we'll be adding 525 SUVs or minivans to Overseas Highway, which is the one road that connects all the islands of the Florida Keys. And as you can imagine, that number of additional vehicles could easily overwhelm the road, especially on a Saturday morning when people are shopping or going fishing or out sightseeing or simply heading to work. And causing a traffic mess is precisely what cannot happen if we want to return here next year. And so we stagger the start. We limit the number of runners and vehicles that are turned loose at any given time and assign start times on a first-come, first-served basis. The earlier you register, the earlier your choice of start time. Now, after leaving the start, of course, everybody will meet their crew or teammates at prescribed stops every few miles along the way. Nearly every one of these locations is woefully inadequate to handle more than just a small percentage of our fleet. Spreading out the start partially addresses the congestion problem, but only partially. So it's also important that after teams and runners meet, that vehicles are moved promptly. Please keep in mind that while the crew and team can only meet at certain locations and they're prescribed, vehicles can go elsewhere for food or gas or simply to move out of the way of an otherwise congested meetup location. So we urge you to do that to make room for others to take your place as we move on down the highway. And the most severe example of this conundrum is 7 Mile Bridge. And here I will ask for all your help. Once your runner starts across 7 Mile Bridge, unless he or she is exceedingly fast, it'll take an hour and a half or more to cross. On the far side of the bridge, at mile 40 and Veterans Park, parking is very tight, and that end of the bridge is also quite dangerous. Please wait on the marathon side and do not drive across the bridge the moment your runner departs. The vast majority of you will have an hour or more of free time. So use it to get some food or fill up with gas or simply to relax. Time your departure to arrive at mile marker 40 and park and walk across the highway to meet your runner a short time before their expected arrival, please. That's the only way to make sense of the inevitable bottleneck over at mile marker 40. And once you arrive at the far side of the bridge, you will be parking either in the lot on the right side or bay side of the highway or along the shoulder on that side. You'll then have to walk across the highway to the ocean side to meet your runner. Please, you must only cross where the sheriff's deputies are stationed. They're there to support us and they're there to support you and cross you carefully. Now let's review the race guide. It will be printed and distributed to every runner and every team at packet pickup. It will be your Bible during the race, so please use it accordingly. The guide will include a roster of all crucial race staff, medical team, marshals, the race timer, timing station monitors, the finish line staff, and more. Names and phone numbers are there if you need to reach anyone. There will be a few changes from last year, but you may use this list, posted on the website, for planning purposes as long as you use the list for this new year that will be included in the updated race guide. Now included in this race are restaurants, bathrooms and portable toilets, gas stations, and convenience stores. Locations where runners must cross the road, which pedestrian bridges are open and which are closed. Whether you are a support crew or a team, use this information to prepare your runner or your next team runner for what lies ahead in their next segment. Tell the runner how far they will run before meeting you again. Those distances are printed there for you. If there's a road crossing or a timing mat or a bathroom, let the runner know. Use this guide to advantage. It will help you. Now, in addition, there will be nearly 100 locations along the route where we will place road signs to help you. But don't totally rely on those. Kids can swipe them and the wind can knock them down. And remember, in the Keys, we count down from mile marker 100 in Key Largo to the finish line in Key West. So when you see a green and white sign along the road, for example, that says mile marker 79, or when you see mile marker 79 on your list in your race guide, you are 21 miles into the race. The far side of 7 Mile Bridge is mile marker 40, and for you 100-milers at that point, you've completed 60 miles.
Hey there, Keys 100. I hope your training's going well. Lead Course Marshal Mark Kudak here. The role of course marshals are to keep you safe, to ensure that the race rules are followed, and to keep the Keys community happy with us, so that this way we can have the race again next year. Please make sure what type and size vehicles are allowed on course before you make any rental reservations. If your vehicle is too large or the wrong type, you will not be allowed to start the race. Please use only designated road crossings, crewing and exchange points as outlined in this year's race guide, as they may have changed from last year. And be sure to use restrooms rather than the roadside. When using the facilities of a business, please ask first and be sure to buy something. After taking care of your runner or exchanging, please do not drive straight to the next exchange or crew point. This causes crowding and bottlenecks on certain parts of the course and may prevent others from meeting their runners. It's the Keys. Enjoy the sights, take a dip, take a nap, have a snack or a meal, but just please time your arrival to that of your runner. If you have any questions, please reach out or come visit us at Packet Pickup. We'll also be there on race morning. We look forward to seeing you in Key Largo Take care.
We have put together a dedicated team of volunteers that includes doctors, nurses, and EMTs to create a safe running environment for all of the participants. We have two goals. First, and most importantly, we want to prioritize runner safety. Second, we want to provide support to make sure that we can maximize the number of runners who can complete this challenging race. Once again this year, each runner is required to have a crew. That means that all of you will have supplies available to you in your vehicles. As this race has historically been held under hot and humid conditions, please carry plenty of ice, fluids, and sun protection. You should also consider bringing topical skin treatments to prevent and treat chafing, blisters, and other skin problems. Heat and hydration issues are the most common causes of concern. Watch for the various signs of overheating, which include muscle cramping, lack of sweating, exhaustion, lightheadedness, nausea, and more importantly, confusion or disorientation. Muscle cramping can also be a sign of electrolyte imbalance. Please remember to take electrolytes as part of your hydration plan. That can include hydration products that contain electrolytes or products such as base salt. For the most part, you should use the drink to thirst method for your hydration. Pounding down fluids to reach some suggested target, especially plain water, can also lead to life-threatening electrolyte imbalances. One other word of caution. The 7-mile bridge can be daunting, especially in the midday sun. Please make sure to carry enough hydration to cross that bridge. A single 20-ounce bottle may not be enough to safely make the crossing, so this may be the only place where a hip belt or a camelback pouch might be advantageous. We also suggest light-colored, moisture-wicking clothing on the course. There's been a long-standing debate about the use of loose-fitting long-sleeve shirts. The benefits of reducing sun exposure provided by those shirts compete with the retention of heat. This is a personal preference. However, I would suggest that you consider bringing a variety of options to see what works best for you. Because your vehicle support is on average 3 miles up the road, you can swap things out frequently if you try something and it doesn't work. Our volunteer medical team will be stationed along the course at the various checkpoints. Simple first aid supplies will be available at each of these locations. The medical volunteers are there to help you with simple issues to keep you in the race, but they are also there to decide whether to pull you from the race temporarily or permanently based on your condition. If a medical volunteer tells you to stay at a checkpoint for observation, please follow those instructions. They are trying to give you time to cool down, rest, hydrate, take in some calories, and get you back on the course. They want you to finish the race as much as you do, but they will not allow you to continue if your safety is in question. But be safe, be smart, have a great race, and we will see you in Key West.
My name is Mike Melton, and I'm your timing guide for the KEYS 100 ultramarathon races. Let me explain to you how timing works. You're going to have a race bib, and it's going to look something like this. And on the back of your race bib is a timing chip underneath a piece of foam. So the race bib has to be worn in such a way that we can see it on you at all times. So you want to wear your race bib on the front part of your body, not on the back, not on your hydration pack, not underneath any clothing, not underneath your hydration vest. Don't put it on your hat. Don't leave it in your van. Don't leave it in your car. Don't leave it in your hotel room. So wear your bib at all times. You'll cross timing mats at several checkpoints along the way as you proceed down the overseas highway. They'll have a cone at least at one side, possibly on both sides of it, run across the timing mat every time you see it. When you get towards the timing mat, you will actually see a sign that says timing mat ahead. So watch for these signs. They're usually going to be 15 or 20 yards ahead of the timing mat. You relay people are going to wear a bib that looks like this on a race belt. And it has a timing chip on the back of it as well. You'll also get a personal bib that does not have a timing chip on it for you personally, because you need to be identified individually. So if it's team 890, you'll have 890-1, -2, -3, -4 for all the runners on your team. Wear your personal bib so we can identify you as a person on the course, just in case you have had all the fun you can handle before you get to the finish line and you decide that you're done for the day. It's incumbent upon you to make your way to the nearest checkpoint and then tell people, I'm done, I'm out of the race. Please don't just have your crew person pick you up off the side of the road and disappear. because we don't want to have to call search and rescue looking for you and then find out that you're in the hotel room already freshly showered and shaved. So please let us know if you decide not to continue. Other than that, have a great race, people. Enjoy yourselves out there, and I'll see you at the finish line at Higgs Beach in Key West.
We thank our sponsors, Eagle Beverage, Mount Sinai Medical Center and Cardiology Centers in Key West and Marathon, our Trail Toes anti-blister and anti-friction product sponsor. Again, Vince Antunes, the president, is a multiple Keys 100 finisher. Now please open any additional newsletters that will be distributed before race day. And most importantly of all, run fast, play fair, and have fun. We'll see you in a very short period of time in the Florida Keys.